Dover, and we are back in the Grand National Series driving the Legacy ARCA cars for a fun one here at Dover. Probably going to be a really tough one as well. Any longer race at this place is always a challenge, but we are here in the race before the race. The Grand National Series will have the Cup Series tomorrow in the Diet Dr. Pepper Series to run even longer race with a slightly more powerful car. And this is during week 13. We just had the update a couple days ago, and we've got this new Race Labs looking throttle and brake tracker on the right, which I think is cool. That's something I always enjoyed seeing on Nick's videos, and I never wanted to get Race Labs to put it on mine, but now it's a part of iRacing itself, which is awesome, so we can have that up there. You can see how bad I am at being smooth on the inputs. We'll go out here and qualify. We got a decent field out here today. I don't think we're at the limit, but I'll have to check. We got 85 laps, 85 miles here at the Monster Mile. 23.0 is all right. Track may have slowed down a little bit, but we're gaining a bunch, maybe, here in 1 and 2. And then we nearly plow the wall. Oh, that was close. Definitely going to be wanting to protect the right front in the race. I think it's going to get very tight. And we go slightly faster, an 0.67. Putting us P4 at the moment. Nick Martin looking very quick. He's up top with a 22.9. Track didn't slow down too much. Pretty cool track temps out here today. The air temp is only 70s. In real life, when they came here, the Busch Series and the Cup Series, it had been really hot here the week prior, like in the 90s. But when the race weekend came, it had really cooled off. And it was mid-60s, I think, for the actual races, and that's not really a temperature we can get to on iRacing. But we'll get it as low as we can, and hopefully have a fun time. We've got 35 cars, 37 cars here, so pretty much a full field. 85 laps with cautions. And hopefully have us a fun race. I like doing longer races with this car. This car was great in the official ARCA series with short races, but no cautions, so you still get a long run. But even more fun when you go long and have to save the tires for an even longer race. I also limited the fuel tank, so saving to the end should not be possible anymore, I don't think. I made sure to limit that. Hopefully not screw some people over. That's fun every once in a while, but I know people don't like having that all the time. Got some people out here doing their laps. And Shane just able to get in, thankfully. He had to do the update, I think. Got David in here. Haven't seen him in a long time.
I had to reset my limiter.
We used to race with him several years ago in the official and Nick's league. Haven't seen him in quite some time, but good to have him back racing with us. That'll be fun. He'll be fast along with his brother. Let's see where they qualified. JP up there. Colin in the 25s looking good. Jordan 11th. David and James 12th and 13th right there in the middle of the pack. They'll be moving forward, I imagine. We are sitting P4 still. I am surprised. This is back-to-back weeks of qualifying well, and I'm notoriously bad at qualifying, so something's up. I guess I'm just excited to be back in this awesome car. What do we qualify as Charlotte? Like third? I don't know. But looks like we're going to be starting up towards the front once again. There was a slight update to the tires, the way they lay down rubber and pick up rubber, and marbles as well. I think I see marbles. I think they're forming again up on the outside. I had when I was doing some testing in practice to make sure the setup would work, I had a slightly more used track, and there was a lot more marbles. You could definitely see them. So I'm thinking if they're back and working as they're supposed to, if you get up in them, the tires will pick them up, and then you'll lose a lot of grip, and you could potentially spin out very fast. And I think if you roll through them under caution, you can pick them up even more with the new update. Good luck to everybody. So that's something we got to be aware of. If we're running the top, we got to make sure we don't overdrive it too much and get close to the wall to where we could touch those marbles. We will see. But running 12-to-1 on the ratio, 60% brakes all the way back in the garage as best we can get them. I usually run 14-to-1, but on a track shorter than a mile or mile and a half, I run a little bit quicker typically. But here I'm kind of on the fence with it because tire wear is still going to be really high. 2 sets of tires in the pits should be plenty. Should only need 1 pit stop if this stays green. Hopefully it'll stay green for a long time.
Still waiting on 2 cars to grid.
Gonna have Eric starting on our outs, or in front of us, and Nick Martin starting on pole.
Additional sets of tires for this race. Be smooth and have a good run.
We got Alex just to our inside, with Alexander and Colin in the row behind us. No, Alexander and JP in the row behind us. JP on the inside. Here we go, rolling off. First race at Dover for the weekend.
Alright, man, we're going green next time.
Tomorrow will be the big race
Line up on the outside road now. Pit road is closed.
with the custom setup, which I'm not sure is going to be very good this week. This series, I'm probably just going to stick with the default fixed as long as it actually works, because I don't know if they've actually been updated for a year or so, so they may have changed how they pass or fail in the garage. But as long as they work, I think we're going to stick with them. But Gen 4, I'll continue to make custom setups. And looking forward to tomorrow's race. I think tire wear is going to be really, really high. But it's not going to feel like you're really plowing that bad, at least in the short run. It felt really stable to me, but I was still seeing a ton of tire wear. But that's for tomorrow. We're getting ready to go green here for 85 laps in the old ARCA car here at Dover. It's going to be a tough one. Hopefully it's a fun one, though. We are off. Could have started in first, it sounds like. Hopefully everyone's nice and chill in the mid-pack. Oh, Nick Martin's getting loose right in front of Eric. So Eric's going to lead lap 1. It would be cool to get up here and lead a lap for some bonus points, but I don't know if we could get around Eric. Jackson starting on pit road. He got in real late. He may have not been able to get in the car in time for qualifying. I don't know which lane is going to be making the pass here, really. The rubber carried over from practice, so all that you see on the bottom lane is from where people were running during practice. So it could be the preferred groove at the moment, which would be awesome. Nick Martin almost able to get back ahead of Alex. Alright, looks like we're going to be single file now. We'll just wait just a second. No need to push it hard at the moment. We could push hard and maybe try and get a lap lead, but I think we should just conserve, and if we move forward and get around one of these guys, then maybe we can think about it pushing harder. But if this goes green for a long time, that could severely hurt us on the right front. Alex getting a little bit tight there through the center. It sounded like he had to stay off the throttle for a long time. Nick Martin's getting a good run, looking to maybe get back around Eric. JP right behind us. He's got a big gap behind him, though. Maybe we let him go if he gets on our inside and don't sit side by side for too long to avoid losing too much time. But I don't think Nick Martin got a lap led, so he's going to be wanting to get those bonus points. He started from the pole, but I think he lost the lead out of turn 2 on the first lap, so I don't know if he's going to have those bonus points. I don't think so. JP looking to our inside. I'll leave the lane. Oh, and then Alex caught the wall. That was tough. Tough situation there. I had to be careful because JP was just on my inside. Now I'm in the wall. We're just trading back and forth. All right, now let's back off. Well, we had that pass made after his mistake, and then we decided to copy him. Just gets a little plowy. And then you got all that extra wheel in it. And it snaps, but no damage. All we did was lose those 2 spots, which is fine. We got a long ways to go. I think we're doing okay on the tires. We got only 56 laps from here on fuel, which will not take us to the end. We'll need at least 1 pit stop. But depending on how cautions happen, if we get any, we could probably want tires later. Everybody's pretty single file from what I can tell behind me. That little group behind us may be catching up. Oh, they just got too wide, actually. We got a lap car up ahead of Eric as well, and Nick Martin going for a pass. Showing the nose, didn't quite get there, it looks like. I'm in ride mode right now, just taking care of the car, taking care of the tires. If JP gets a run on Alex, maybe we can follow him through, but right now I'm fine riding here. Trying not to slide the right front too much on entry. If the guys behind us start catching up by a lot, then maybe we try and go a little bit harder, but I think we're okay right now. I like to keep an eye on the tire, like the time fall off as well. I don't think that's changed. Should peter out at about 1.5 seconds. They just stop falling off after a certain point. But if you listen to Denny Hamlin on his podcast, he's talking about having 4 seconds or more fall off at Darlington, whenever that race is, which is just not possible at all on iRacing currently with this tire model, which is really unfortunate. I really wish they could spend a season putting a bunch of effort into the tire model to get the fall off and the times a lot more correct. I think it would make the racing so much better and a lot more fun. That's my main gripe with the service at the moment, is the tires on all the oval stuff. Especially for these, oh, don't run into JP, for these vintage style bodies and vintage tires, like the Legends, the 87s, and the Gen 4. They should be wearing, and you should be slowing down a lot more lap time wise over the course of a run. Especially the Gen 4. You see it a little bit more in the 87s just because they are so tight. The Gen 4 just seems like there's no fall off ever. I know you get about a second, but that is basically nothing. We're in the fuel window. So I guess if you think this is going to go all green, which it's looking pretty good right now, you could pit early, use your tire advantage, but like I said, with the fall off not being very high, it may not give you a huge advantage.
24.639. Got one inside.
Can we sneak around JP on the outside, potentially?
Still there.
Probably not without hurting our stuff.
On the low side.
Oh, he got big tight that time.
Still there. Clear low.
He just backed out of it. He saw Colin catching up. Now the same thing will probably happen to us if we go to the inside on Alex. We might have to set something up on the high side if we want to get around him.
Inside.
Let's try and get a run on him. Oh, big run.
Clear low.
We nearly got our nose to his outside on the exit.
Got one inside.
We had to lift way out of it.
Stay high.
He gave us the lane that time. I think we had our nose there.
Still there. What's the line?
Don't overdrive it too bad.
All clear, all clear.
Topside dominant. At least for making passes. Because it's too dang tight on the bottom. It's getting very tight. We might need to start tapping the brakes a little bit. In fact, I'm going to move them back as far as they'll go.
You're in third place.
We're getting very tight all of a sudden. That was probably a bad idea to do what we did there, but we're in third. Long ways back from Eric and Nick now. I think JP's quicker than us.
Sorry.
If Eric and Nick get to battling at all, that could allow us to close in some. Because you go a lot slower when you're too wide, as we've demonstrated.
The leader just did a 25.159.
Tires are really giving up. You got to really be careful around the bottom now, or you're going to plow the wall down. Alex has fallen off quite a bit, surprisingly. He's getting passed by Colin back there now. Just trying to move the wheel as little as possible through the corners to save the right front. Try to steer it with the throttle and the brake more than the wheel. Right now that means waiting longer on throttle through the center of the corner. And dragging the wall down the straightaway, of course. Nick Martin right underneath Eric's spoiler up there. Now he's going to go high, maybe try and set up a run. Oh, he got a huge run on exit, and Eric got really tight. He might have beat him to the line there and got those bonus points. Yeah, he did. Got that pass done quick. That's not going to allow us to catch up very much. JP looking much quicker than us right now. He'll probably get a run out of 2 here. He's running a bit higher now. We'll just back off for him. I'm trying to conserve my right front after abusing it for a lap or 2. He didn't quite get the run that time, though. Eric kind of falling back to us a little bit. Not a ton, but he is going backwards a little bit.
Sorry about that.
I cannot believe we're still green. This is such a tough track, and we've got such a big field. I did see a couple people on pit road. Asher, I think, was one of them. Maybe there was some issue that didn't cause a yellow.
Sorry, Frank.
Seems to be a lot of that going on, but I would think here the track surface is basically the entire width of the pavement, so I would imagine any little thing would cause a yellow. Did we get a lap lead at Charlotte? I can't remember. I don't think we did. We did finish third, though, I think. Started the season off really good with the top 5. Hopefully we can replicate that. But we're going to need a pit stop this time. We didn't at Charlotte. So who knows. But we're still green. We've had a ton of green flag racing in this season already. There was only one caution at Charlotte, and it was at the very end. And we're already 33 laps into this one without a yellow. Knock on wood. This is a lot of fun. Nick Martin is kind of falling back to Eric a little bit more now. He had pulled out a bit. Maybe he was pushing it a bit too hard. Concrete is not my favorite surface to race on, but it's really cool to see how dark the track gets the more rubber you put on it. I like seeing the evolution of it. Used to be able to see that at some of the older surfaces too that were all washed out, like Atlanta was really good about that. Eric into the wall a bit. Probably not a huge tap though. We've been able to pull the gap on JP a little bit.
The leader just did a 25.49.
25.49. Let's see what we ran last. 25.43. So slightly quicker. We have caught up some. It's going to be real tough to make the pass though. The little bit, like our tires might be slightly better than theirs at the moment, but if we start racing side by side, we could lose all that advantage really quickly if we can't get the pass done. That's how quick it'll wear down. We're going to be coming up on halfway pretty soon. We'll see when pit stops want to start. I didn't practice a green flag pit stop. This is one of the hardest pit roads to get onto for any oval. Jordan pitting in. He's going for the undercut. That could be good. Let's see what the time fall off is. It feels like it's a lot. I did just say the lap time. It's about 2 seconds. Not quite. But that is good to see. We're getting at least close to 2 seconds. Getting ready to come up on lap traffic. And we are getting ready to be in the mix for lap lead. I'd love to stay out at least to get a lap lead. I think that will be possible if we don't just get there by passing the leader, which I think will be difficult. May have to set up a run on the high side. Unless he hits the wall. Had to wait there. He might hit the wall again. Oh, goodness. I had to lift out of it because he was going straight for the wall.
Stay low. Good job. The next car is leader. Stay low.
Fitting in.
Still there.
And that's what I was afraid of. That's why I wanted to set it up.
I'm going to be very curious to see my right front.
The leader just did a 25.
Okay, we clear him. Can we stay ahead of him?
Clear, all clear.
Looks like it. Alright. Maybe we can track down Nick Martin and get a lap lead. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And then we'll probably need to think about pitting. We're going to do 4 tires and whatever fuel they think. 5 gallons. Actually, you know what? Let's put a little bit extra in it. We're going to be waiting on tires anyway. A little bit extra fuel will help it turn some. But not too much. I don't want to wait on fuel on a pit stop. $10 gallons should be fine. People pitting. Oh gosh, no.
Alright, man, caution is out. Caution is out. You've got wheel damage. Line up single file.
I am so sorry. I did not see that you were pitting there.
Past the 20.
Did he say he was pitting? I did not see it at all.
Catch the hey car.
That sucks.
Alex, I'm not sure how you followed me through the
You've got
field
wheel damage.
and saved tires
We got
better than me.
damage on the front end.
That was awesome.
You've got damage on the right side.
It's the genius strat of 36.
Oh my gosh, that sucks.
Past the 32.
I didn't see that he was the one pitting. I thought the guy in front of him dive into the apron was pitting.
It was not very fun, so I don't recommend it.
Oh, that sucks.
Past the 32. Past the.
Well, I seen you behind me. I was like, okay, there's no way he's saving tires better than me. And then you got.
And we
around
ruined
and
a good
just started
run.
pulling away. That was pretty good.
I saw the text appear pitting in, but I thought it was the guy in front of him. I couldn't look up and see who was saying it. Gosh dang it. I saw Eric diving up too. He saw it. It was just a stupid
Well,
mistake by me.
Being in the wall, I put myself in there about 7 times.
We're going to get a lap lead here,
I
but
adjusted my FOV for this, before this race because I'm slowly trying to bring it to like a normal level, so like a huge jump.
5,
And I've been smacking the outside wall
3,
because I don't know like the dimensions in my car
right
perfectly.
here.
how much damage did that
We
give
can
us?
repair most of the damage.
2 minutes. That sucks.
37 right front, 66 right rear.
So sorry to Nick Martin there. I did not
36.
at all see that he was pitting.
72.
Alright, that's it. Go.
Be mindful, you only have 1 set of tires remaining.
Oh, that is frustrating.
I'm not having very much fun.
That is frustrating.
Catch the
I
34
love this car. It's so much fun.
We killed Eric too. I think he had no front end left.
Keep this thing. You don't get to see me on Thursdays again. This is awful. No.
You actually have to drive this thing. The new ARCA car is just throw it in there, get it slowed down, and throw it back off the corner for the most part.
I think you can't drive this thing. You try to drive.
Did not see he was pitting at all. I was just focused on entering the corner, trying to be nice and smooth and save the right front. I saw the guy dive down in front of him, and I thought that was who was pitting. I didn't see that there were maybe there were 2 messages at the same time. I don't know, but that is really frustrating. I'm really frustrated with myself there. Really frustrated with myself there. I thought he was just entering the corner low or checking up for the guy that was pitting, and then all of a sudden he was stopping in front of me, and I had no idea. I did not have enough warning there, I guess.
Let it roll a little more.
Hopefully we're not totally screwed on damage, but we probably are. I just didn't even worry about fixing it. Maybe we'll be okay, but this is a high-speed track. Probably going to hurt
I
us.
was trash at this car before they removed it from official. I'm still trash.
This is always my best car.
Get ready.
I guess we'll start in first this time.
All right,
But I
man.
do enjoy
Race
running
cars
it.
in.
I thought one day I'd learn it.
Green, green, good job. The next car is in.
Hopefully we're okay on speed.
The lead is 14 points.
Sorry, James, I saw the 16 a little all over the place, and it kind of worried me in the night cycle.
Eric coming out.
I thought it was very frustrating.
Really unfortunate. I took him out. And Nick Martin, both of them, who are doing very good. Should have been top 3.
Sorry about that, Ford.
Looks like we're okay on speed somehow. Maybe we'll be worse on tire wear, but hopefully not.
Holy marble.
Yeah, gotta watch out for those marbles. Oh my goodness, that was a horrible corner. That was a absolutely horrible corner. Try to get back into a rhythm. I am really upset with myself this race. Probably should have just fixed it, went to the back, penalized myself for causing the yellow. I don't know how we're still as quick as we are. But we are, I think, a little bit off of what we were. We're losing time pretty quickly here. We're going to be getting past soon. Let's try and protect the tires and maybe get to the end. Yeah, we're definitely slower than we were. Lose the spot to Jeremy.
The lead is at 23.881.
23.8. We're about 3/10 off of that. Get passed by Dylan. Hopefully, get in behind him. At least we got a lap led. That's going to be big for us on the points, but that's not the way I wanted to do it. I would have gone high if I knew he was pitting. I just had no clue. It sucks. It's really, really hard. This track, a lot of tracks are really high focus. You really can't take your eyes up off of it. And that makes it so much harder if you just send in the text chat that you're pitting, or in the case of like Nick, doesn't have any text chat or voice chat. If you, like, he would have had zero clue that anyone was pitting in front of him. And I can barely look up and read what people are saying while I'm in the middle of racing here. It's just a tough situation.
You got one inside.
Real tough situation.
All clear, all clear.
We'll be lucky if we can hang on to a top 10, but I don't have super high hopes. That group behind us is probably going to eventually work their way around us. Once they get single file, here comes James. Maybe we'll be a little bit better on the tires, being a little bit slower though, and maybe that will keep us a little bit in contention. I don't feel like we're being any better on the tires though. Probably being a little bit worse. The damage has probably made us a little bit tighter. They're racing hard just ahead of us. James is about here. He's going to get around us. No, he waited there. He could have got to our inside before the corner entry for sure. He backed off though. Use the apron to get it to turn. Doesn't really work here. We are holding everybody up. Surprised he's not going for the pass though. He's going to get this big group right behind us, and they're all going to pass us at once. Coming to 20 to go. He'll get around us this time. Oh, unless he gets tight. We kind of got to go defensive now, because we're not quick enough to pass him back. Oh, he's getting real tight. That was close. We're just being in the way and being annoying, sadly. Looks like the bottom is just super, super tight. Maybe we just run up top now. But that's probably not going to help us on the right front department. Oh, they made contact behind us.
A little bit of a late door slam there, Colin.
Can we hold them off for 20 laps? That'd be mean. Would be very mean of us. Just doing mean stuff this race. A little bit better exit. They're all starting to get tight though. We can definitely use that to our advantage.
Didn't know I was that.
But they're still much quicker than we are. We're not going to be able to stay on his outside there. Our right front's letting go.
Good.
Oh, look, Nick Martin. He's in 7th. Oh, that guy's clambering the wall. Okay, glad Nick Martin's able to keep going, and he's still going to get a decent finish. That sucks for Eric, though. We took him out. We can't go to James's inside here. That'll just send us backwards. Do the cut down line. Colin, I think, hit the wall hard enough to really hurt it. We're getting very tight. Just limp this thing home, maybe sneak a top 10. I don't know, though. I think we could lose more spots before this thing is over. Alex behind us is going to get a huge run, running a bit higher than we were. And then it's Ryan who's a lap down. And then a little bit of a gap from Colin. Maybe we can hang on to this spot. I'm glad Nick Martin's going to beat us, though. He doesn't look like he's got a ton of damage. I think Eric got the worst of it. He's out completely. Oh, they're getting real high, up into the marbles, potentially. Can we hold off? Oh, that's Ryan. He's a lap down. So if he gets to us, we'll just back off for him. Not for position. I will take a P8 with Nick Martin beating us. I wish Eric was able to continue as well, but unfortunately he was not. He went high, doing the right thing to get around the guy pitting, and we wrecked the guy right up into him. 10 laps to go. If our caution is the only caution, then that will really stink, because we could have gone this caution free and had green flag pit stops. We had already started green flag pit stops, and we ruined that. It sucks, but oh well, it's part of racing. You're going to make mistakes like that sometimes. Cause yellows. Everybody does it at some point. I haven't caused a yellow in I don't know how long. I don't remember the last one I caused, but caused one today. Hopefully get that out of our system and can run a clean race tomorrow. SK staying up out of the way. We'll run down low and get around him. He's doing good, just holding his line. Massive tight there. We got on throttle a little bit too quick, but it actually didn't feel too bad down there. I think we'll go back down there. Kind of like it better than the top. I don't think it's quicker. We certainly can't hold anybody off, but we got some space at the moment. Zach behind us is 0.7, and he's not really gaining. So it looks like the fall off has petered out, and we have put ourselves in 8th place. Decent finish here if we could close it out. Could have been really good had we not run into the back of Nick Martin. Yeah, I should have been running the bottom. Way better. We just got put up top and then stayed up there. Feels like a lot more grip down here, though. I can get it through the corner, the center of the corner, without struggling. At least it feels like. Still got to be careful and wait on the throttle so you're not plowing the wall down. 0.8 behind us, we're pulling away. Ryan's doing good, just sitting behind us. He could get past us and go much quicker, but no real point to that at the moment, so.
Back in the back.
Oh. And that might end the race. Who did that get cut? Jeff and Nick King, maybe?
Is there green, white, checkered?
No.
So that ends it?
I believe so, yeah.
If you'd have told me I was coming out of here with a top 5, I'd have called you a liar.
Hey Dylan, did you see I was running you back down when I was running the bottom? That's what I was talking about earlier. I was literally the reason I was catching you is because I was running the bottom and taking less distance, but I was picking up throttle at the same time.
Well, that was a good
I was
race.
thinking if you were going to catch me, I was going to make it really hard for you to pass me because even though my tires were worn, I was going to be able to.
Sucks we got to end it under yellow again.
It's going to be harder for you to hold the inside unless you get that past me like I did you on that restart.
Yeah, the outside works, but it's a short run.
2 laps to go. Car 32. Got the
Short
market dog. Let
term
it by
game.
on the outside.
Yeah, I get you. I figured it was long enough to at least try and attempt it. Hope for a green white checker and maybe steal one.
Man, this is Gavin. He doesn't do green white checkers.
Not green white checkers, but like green white checker with 3 to go or whatever. 5 laps and trying to do something.
I'm just glad I beat Bryce after he tried to murder me.
I'm sorry for ending it, guys. That was on me.
Is this the white
car in
flag?
front of me
No.
was coming off the low
Next
side.
flag is the white
I
flag.
was a lane lower, and I don't know if he flipped me over, but he got tight, so I had to lift.
Position when the
The car
yellow flag
behind me
came out.
just didn't have time to even see it all coming because there's a huge stack.
JP gets the win. Dylan and
Right.
Jeremy, top
It was
3.
low, I could have stopped it. So sorry.
Good job to them. JP was the quickest of all the people that didn't wreck in that first caution, so good job to him.
And it just got away with me. I'm just glad I didn't wreck it.
All right, man. White flag at the line.
Thanks for putting this up, Gavin. This makes me, just remember all the good old days of the ARCA series. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Great race. Sorry for the first caution. I just had no clue. People were pitting in front of me. Sucks for Eric. I think he got taken out by it, but that was a really good race. A lot of green flag racing, which you don't always expect here, so that was a lot of fun. And great win. Oh,
Yeah, great racing. That's my best finish at Dover.
he pulled a Mark Martin,
And thanks again, Gavin. This
But-
was awesome.
he was a lap down
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
behind us.
I'll take that after starting 24th.
Yep. Thanks for
Thank
joining.
y'all. It'd been fun to battle with the other top 4 up there like we did the first run, but I'll take it.
I'll take a top 8 for the wreck.
Is there a Discord server that everybody's in for driver comms, or is it just on iRacing?
Just iRacing.
On iRacing. That's it. Like some of us, we could hang out in other Discords, but Gavin doesn't have any voice chats in his Discord.
10-4 saw that. Just wondered if there's anything else up there some I was missing.
A lot of marbles down at the bottom. Great to see them back. Hopefully they affect handling. Good race.
There's a checkered flag.
Good win, JP.
I did not think we would be mostly caution-free there.
Good
Yeah,
job,
it was a really
driver.
good race. It was a lot of fun. It was
Yeah.
close.
The race
Throughout
is
the
over.
field.
It's the 97 car, past the 18, past the 90.
Thanks, everyone.
The 15,
Awesome
past
stuff.
the
Great race.
25,
To have that many
past
green
the
flag laps at
25,
Dover with a
past
field
the-
this big is very nice. Look how much damage we had. That is why we were a little bit slower, but we still hung on to a top 10, which I can be happy about. Let's see. 79. Looks like we were doing pretty good on the tires still. I was feeling really good in that first run. We had plenty of tire left. I think we were going to be able to pass Nick Martin without the pit stop. Unfortunately, that we couldn't get that to play out like we wanted, but we come away with a decent finish. We get a top 10 and the bonus points for leading a lap or 2. I think we may have only led 1. Let's go take a look at the cautions or the incidents and make sure this isn't too loud. Seems too loud. Great race. The race before the race. Hopefully tomorrow's race goes just as good. But not a good start for Asher there. Gets loose out of 4 or out of 2 down into the wall. I was feeling that a little bit in my testing. It could really snap if you were pushing it a little bit too much. And sometimes it's hard to tell if you're pushing it or not. Right there, Rick almost did the same thing, and then he drifted up the track into the wall. And then saw a lot of this back in the day racing with these cars. You get stuck on the wall with the skew of these bodies, and then you try to pull them off, and just gets way too sideways. What happened here? Bryce and Robert come together out of the corner. Bryce coming down a little bit. Robert, he's running the bottom racing line there. He's leaving room, and Bryce just kind of comes down a bit. Gets into the back of them, but does not spin either of them, which is crazy. That's right in front of Nick. Very dangerous little position there. Nick sporting his fairly old Diet Dr. Pepper scheme in that car. I don't think that was the last scheme he ran in this, but awesome to see it. Great race to everybody. That was a ton of fun. I love the long runs where you could see at the end of that run the tire difference that we had saved that entire run to get. Like, we were moving forward. We were probably the quickest out of the top 3. Obviously, making the pass is never easy, but we were going to be able to do something. We got around Eric, and I was getting ready to set up something on Nick Martin until we got right to the back of him. Just flat out wreck him as he was trying to pit. At least he still finished in front of us and didn't have too much damage. But like I said, I think Eric had the most of it. I believe all we're seeing now is just tire calls. Ooh, there's Maxime getting put up into the wall on corner exit. So tight out of the corners. The bottom lane can do that very easily. Push up into the outside lane. Everybody running whatever line they can get grip on. Outside was really good for holding people off, as you would expect, but it was also good for setting up a run. I don't think single file it was faster. I think the bottom was faster. But if you were right behind somebody, you could really set up a run down the backstretch or any straightaway and get underneath somebody or just get a huge run of speed at them. And I think we used that to our advantage a couple times. We're just gonna have to go to our wreck. We'll go to the 2 cautions because I don't think anything else happened. And Eric was the caution when this is Frank trying to get to pit road. Very, very, very tough pit road to get onto. Probably the hardest pit road to get onto in all of ovals, and he hits the barrels there. So Nick Martin, I guess, says pitting in. Yeah, Nick Martin says pitting in, SK says pitting in, and then Nick Martin says pitting in again. I just look up and see pitting in, and then I see the guy in front of Nick Martin diving to the apron. I did not see who said it because I'm focused on corner entry. I couldn't really stay up there and look and read that whole thing. But Nick Martin said pitting in. So I just go in. I think he's just maybe a little bit checked up for avoiding the guy going to the apron. So I have no clue that Nick Martin said pitting in. And then Eric, he saw and actually... Oh, big hit. He went high to avoid it. And, yeah, I mean... I was getting on the brakes as hard as I could. This is all screwed up here. Ooh, that should be over here probably. So I'm getting on the brakes as we're there, and I'm just not getting on them quick enough, and then that pushes my nose down and gets me sideways, and I correct up the track, and Eric just nowhere to go. Nick Martin spins. If you make any contact with the wedge noses and the lifted rear ends of the cars, more often than not, they're just going to instantly spin like that. And that could have easily spun us completely around as well, but we got a ton of damage out of that. Let's take a look from Eric's point of view. It sucks. He didn't have voice chat there. I just had no clue. I just had no clue he was pitting. Oh, I wish I would have known. We could have maybe been in contention to win this thing with the way our tires were. It would have been about the green flag pit stop, but I see pitting in. I don't know. I don't see who says it. I see the guy diving there, and then could not get the information in time. That sucks. And then there's a stack up on the restart. Let's take a look at the next caution. We don't need to go through all the wall hits and stuff, I don't think. Caution that happened right at the end, as we often get. We either get no cautions, or we get one right at the end, so we have to drive around at 40 miles an hour for 3 laps. That seems to be how it works. Oh my gosh. That was just a big stack up. Almost 3 wide there. Everyone has to lift because they're getting tight. Mick has to lift, and then he gets hit by Jake because David was getting really tight underneath Colin in the 35, so he has to lift, and then Mick has to lift and not hit him, and then Jake just couldn't lift in time, just accordions. And that is the caution at lap 82 to end things. Unfortunate. But that kind of stuff happens. Let's go take a look at the points and the results for this race. 2 cautions for only 5 laps. 3,000 strength of field. We ended up with 121 points. That jumps us up a couple spots, gives us 6th place in points, 121 points. We get our 2 laps led. Okay, we led 2. JP led 38, 165. Nick Martin led 18, 135 points. So he gets great points there coming out of there with a 4th. I think Eric led the most, didn't he? And he got the fastest lap. He did not lead the most. I guess JP did at the end. But he still gets 94 points. That's good enough to jump him up to 27th in points, but he should have had way more than that. We just wiped him out, unfortunately. But what can you do? Go to the next race. Hopefully don't do it again, but I'm sure I'll do it again one day. Hopefully not tomorrow. We wind up with 36 different people in here. It doesn't look like Connor joined. And JP gets the win. Dylan, Jeremy, Nick Martin with the top 4. Great recovery for him. Glad he got that. And then Shane rounds out the top 5. Good run to Shane coming up from 20th. 25th for Dylan. James, Alexander, myself, Sean, and Zach to round out the top 10. And yeah. Good race. I can't believe we only had 2 yellows there and 1 I caused. We could have had an 80 lap run there with green flag pit stops at Dover with 30 plus cars in the field. Let's take a look at the standings. If I can get it to pull up for the Grand National Series. JP leaps to the top. He may have already been at the top. Was he? Maybe. But he gets to the top with the win. We are in second, just a little ways back. No wins, but our average finish is 6th. We've had a really good start to the season, almost 2 top ties. But at least we got 2 top 10s and a top 5. Jackson, he did not finish well in this one, I don't think. I think he joined late and then couldn't complete too many laps, but he's still very high in the points with his win. And he's got 10 bonus points. Looks like Eric's got the most bonus points with 11 up to this point. No wins yet. He could have been in contention for this win until we took him out. Shane there putting together solid runs. He's in 4th. Alexander, Nick Martin has a really good run here, thankfully, after that. Dan, Ryan, and Jake round out the top 10. It's actually 2 people tied, Jake and Colin for the top 10, and then 1 point behind them is Alex and Jeff. And then 1 point behind them is Zach. So very, very tight middle of the standings here. All the way down here, too. But, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for joining and making that a really fun race. We've had 46 unique drivers so far, and that was awesome. I enjoyed that a ton until I caused the yellow, but we'll move on from it. Sucks for Eric, but we do get drop weeks. We're going to have 4 drop weeks in this series, so that's probably not going to end up hurting him too bad. And next week, South Boston. So there's going to probably be more than 2 yellows in that race. But, yeah. We had an awesome one here. That was a ton of fun. And thanks, everyone, for watching and joining. And we will see you tomorrow for the Cup Series Gen 4 race. So, yeah, thanks for watching.